at 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning.
Happy Easter. Yes, good morning. A lot of people hopefully up with us a little bit earlier than usual, you know.
Yeah, getting the day started. It is March 31st. Happy Easter. Went to a vigil last night. It was beautiful, Sarah, and I hope everyone has plans today. I know a lot of people are going to be out and about, Sarah, especially at Brackenridge, Woodlawn Park, celebrating with their large family gathering.
A lot like yesterday, we have morning mist out there and some clouds, so it is definitely going to be a humid and warmer day, but there really isn't any major weather that will interrupt outdoor plans. Again, just some morning mist possible and some morning fog. It's 67 degrees outside, humidity at a balmy 93% this morning. The dew point and the temperature right next to each other, and that's why we're seeing some areas of patchy fog and mist. Here's a look at visibility. Take a look up in the hill country. Kerrville visibility down to 3 miles, down to a mile in Rock Springs this morning. Visibility around San Antonio okay, but you can definitely see the higher humidity there on the horizon as those cloud ceilings really start to lower. So within the next several hours, if you're planning on enjoying Easter egg hunts with your children or just time outdoors, know that this morning we are going to have some areas of patchy mist. Temperatures generally in the 60s this morning with cloudy skies. By noon, we'll start to see a few peaks of sunshine, and then it'll be breezy in the afternoon with a high near 80 degrees. I have updated the forecast. Looks like we could see a brief window for some storms tomorrow night. I'll have those details coming up. Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. New this morning, police don't have much to go on after someone shot and killed a man outside a home on the city's east side. Officers got to the scene after 9 last night on MLK Drive. So far, a lot of unanswered questions, including what led up to the shooting and who pulled the trigger. Police say that several shots were fired, some of the gunfire even hitting a nearby home. No one else was hurt. Police tell us they took someone in custody so they can ask them questions. So far, SAPD has not made any arrest. And police are also trying to get to the bottom of this shooting over on the south side of town. It happened just before 11 last night on East Vestal Place and Chaucer Avenue. That's not far from Stinson Municipal Airport. So an officer tells us they found a man in a ditch with several gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police did see several people running from the scene when they got there, so they did detain those people. However, police officers are not calling them suspects because they're not sure if those people were actually involved in the shooting. Well, a San Antonio mother is calling on the community to come forward with any information about the death of her son. It's been 2 years since 28-year-old Juan Mendoza was shot and killed. Avery Everett spoke to his family, still grieving, but doing what they can to help San Antonio police solve this case.
You left a mother without his son, a sister without a brother, and kids without their father.
A family refusing to give up just after the anniversary of their son's death.
It's been 2 years, and you still don't have more answers.
No.
Juan Mendoza was shot and killed March 25th of 2022. San Antonio police have still not made any arrests.
Nobody knows how painful this is.
Mendoza was sitting at a light on General McMullen and El Paso when a car drove by and shot him. Though there are pictures of what might be the suspect's car, this is still an unsolved crime.
I want them to keep his name out there,
so that police keep investigating.
Please turn yourself in.
They're hoping for compassion from a community that may have the answers.
I missed everything.
San Antonio police have issued a Crime Stoppers reward for any information that leads them to the arrest of Juan's killer. To submit a tip, we have links to do so on KSAT.com. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Pax vobis. Il banchetto eucaristico.
Like Sarah and I mentioned earlier, it is Easter. Happy Easter. Pope Francis presided over the Easter Mass at the Vatican today. The 87-year-old pontiff canceled engagements over the past week. Francis, who had part of his one lung removed as a young man, has been battling respiratory problems all winter. Today, he led tens of thousands of people in a packed at St. Peter's Square. The Mass began just hours after Francis celebrated the 2.5 nighttime Easter vigil. Next comes the Pope's lengthy Easter speech that traditionally rounds up all the threats facing humanity. Well, millions of people on the road this busy holiday weekend, and airports are busy too. The TSA says they screened its largest number of passengers of the year so far, more than 2.7 million on Thursday. Meantime, as ABC's Philip Lipoff reports, travelers on one flight had some delays due to turbulence.
Airports across the country packed with passengers.
A lot of congestion at times.
The TSA screening more than 2.7 million people Thursday alone heading into the holiday weekend, making it the busiest day this year so far. More passengers than the Friday before Christmas and the day before Thanksgiving last year.
What about the crowds? A lot of people traveling with you?
Yeah. Our plane was definitely more packed than it was going out.
But the holiday weekend not without incident. A United flight from Tel Aviv to Newark making an unscheduled stop, diverting late Friday to Orange County, New York, after encountering heavy turbulence.
Yeah, it's quite windy today, and they said the flight was pretty rough coming in to Newark, but we had multiple ambulances here from New Windsor and multiple surrounding agencies.
In a statement, United saying one passenger deplaned due to a medical incident, and a few other customers were seen by medical personnel for possible motion sickness.
They advised our crew that they had multiple people on the plane complaining of nausea, some chest pain from the turbulence.
The plane eventually making it to Newark. And if you're on the road this weekend, you will spend more on gas. Prices slowly rising through the year, with the average hovering around $3.53 a gallon. That's up 19 cents from last month's average and up 3 cents from this time last year.
And that was ABC's Philip Lipoff reporting. If you have travel plans soon, the FAA is predicting this week will be the busiest of the spring break travel season. Travel will also pick up around the eclipse as well. All right, crews carefully started removing the first piece of twisted steel from collapsed Baltimore bridge this weekend. Yesterday, crews started cutting that first section of metal so it can be loaded onto a barge. 7 floating cranes, 10 tugboats, and 9 barges have been tapped to help this cleanup. Clearing the river will allow officials to reopen the economically vital port of Baltimore. All this comes after a massive cargo ship smashed into the pillar on Tuesday. You can see that on your screen there. The bodies of 2 of the 6 workers still have not been found after the collapse were covered earlier this week. Crews are still looking for 4 more. It's 6:07 and 67 degrees. Artificial intelligence seeping into a lot of areas these days. It's even used in TSA screenings, but that's caused for some concern for some. A look at the safeguards lawmakers are working on. It's popular among children, but those colorful water beads they might be playing with could be very harmful to their health. What you need to know. I heard Sarah say it was 93% humidity. I can feel it in my hair. It's at 67 degrees, 6:08. It's going to be a humid Easter Sunday. But hey, she has the forecast for the rest of the week coming up. The Powerball continues to grow. Once again, no one won that big prize after last night's drawing. 4 tickets did match 5. So those won $1 million each. I need to check mine, but apparently none of them happened in Texas. Now there's $975 million up for grabs happening on April Fool's Day. The estimated cash value for tomorrow's drawing, $471 million. Our KSAT bookie came around.
Yeah, Chris gets, $3 from us. We go on in a pool. Mm-hmm. But I also know that Chris is somebody that would pull an April Fool's joke on us.
100%.
So don't do it, Chris.
Please don't.
Please don't pull an April Fool's joke on us.
Because I'm very gullible, and I always forget that it's April Fool's. I'm like, what?
Well, just remember tomorrow.
Okay.
If we win tomorrow night, we'll have to double, triple, quadruple check because of Chris's trickeries.
His sneakiness.
Well, happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
We are going to be looking at a pretty muggy day today. There are areas of fog and mist out there right now, and temperatures are very mild. 66 in Bulverde, 67 in San Antonio, 62 in Los Maples. You can see on the horizon there that cloud ceilings have really started to lower. The clouds are really only about 800 feet up in the air there. So as those cloud ceilings start to lower, we could see some areas of mist. And I think we are getting some mist out near New Braunfels, Kerrville, Port SA, where visibility is less than a perfect 10. So that mist is possible this morning. Again, kids can go outside and play in the mist. So if you have Easter egg hunts planned over the next couple of hours before or after Mass, just know that it is going to be an okay day. Definitely humid. But it is not going to be one of those days where we have to worry about widespread rain. As we take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, yes, patchy mist possible, especially through about 10 o'clock. Then as we head into the afternoon, a few peaks of sunshine. It is going to be a warm day. We'll be looking at a high temperature in the low 80s. That is warmer than seasonably average. South winds breezy at times at about 15 miles per hour, and a mild evening too, with temperatures in the 70s after sunset. One thing I want to mention is clouds will be stubborn around San Antonio, but that is not going to be the case out to the west. We'll see sunshine a lot quicker for areas like Del Rio, Eagle Pass, Carrizo Springs. Take a look at these potential highs. 95 degrees for the potential high out near Del Rio. And so if you're closer to the border, know that it is going to be a hot day, not just a warm day. As for those of us around San Antonio, again, I think in the hill country, closer to 80 degrees. Clouds stick around a little bit longer, higher elevations, but the further south and west you go, the warmer it'll be. 87 in Pleasanton, 86 in Floresville for this Easter. Hondo, you'll be at 85, 82 in Seguin, 82 in Bandera, 84 in Los Maples. Then our attention turns to the fact that we do have some storm chances tomorrow night. I bumped up storm chances just a little bit as we expect a weak cool front to be moving through. Here's a look at the weather setup. Those clouds clearly moving across San Antonio and Texas right now. Big dynamic system still churning near Los Angeles. This is the same system that is allowing for winter weather for parts of Nevada, Utah, Arizona, flooding possible near Los Angeles, and even some fire danger across parts of West Texas. Here's where that front is though right now. You can see that it is much cooler behind this front over the Rockies, temperatures in the 30s. That front is going to move through tomorrow night. As it approaches though, it is going to be a hot day tomorrow. Take a look at San Antonio's forecast high tomorrow, 90 degrees. Del Rio close to 100 tomorrow for the first time this year. Then that front will be moving through. As it does so, a broken line of storms is going to develop tomorrow night from Dallas to the Hill Country. As we head into the overnight hours, closer from 9 to about 2 o'clock in the morning, a broken line of storms will be moving through the San Antonio metro area. Not everyone will see storms, but if you do see a storm, it is spring. Spring-like strong storms are possible. The potential there is 30% depending on where you live. So broad 30% chance for storms tomorrow night, but it is a chance and we will be keeping you posted. As I take a look at the morning lows over the next several days, I want you to notice on your screen that you still need your jacket, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday morning when temperatures will be in the 40s as we head to work, head to school, those kinds of things. Just beyond our 7-day forecast, the total solar eclipse happening Monday, April 8th. I'll tell you what we know so far with the forecast. It's not much, but it's something.
Those temperatures, Sarah, for today and tomorrow, we're going to hit 90 at one point. Is that normal? Is that above average?
We can hit 90 degrees in March and April. That's not unheard of. It is, though, a lot warmer than average. I mean, our average high is 77. So to be 15 degrees warmer than that, that is something.
So the temperatures with this cool front coming in are a little more on par.
Yeah, even colder than average in the morning. So we've got a little bit of something for everybody this week.
Thank you, Sarah. It's 6:17 and 67 degrees. Water beads might look harmless, but they could cause some serious harm. What you should know if your kids like playing with them. We have a new safety warning about those colorful, squishy water beads that are popular with kids. So regulators say 2 brands sold on Amazon, they contain dangerous toxins. As 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz reports, it's what a San Antonio mom has been warning about for years.
Water beads look like innocent fun. They start out tiny but grow dramatically in water. If a child swallows them, the beads can expand, risking choking, intestinal blockages, lung collapse, even death.
I have been talking about this for a really long time.
Ashley Hogan's daughter, Kipley, swallowed her sister's water beads as a baby and got very sick. Now, new warnings from the Consumer Product Safety Commission after their tests found excessive acrylamide, a known carcinogen, in 2 brands of water beads sold on Amazon, Django Star and Tula Duo. Acrylamide is a toxin that can harm the nervous and reproductive systems and the brain.
Because like me.
After Kipley ingested another brand of water beads, she was diagnosed with toxic brain encephalopathy caused, her mother says, by acrylamide poisoning.
For her, it's meant that she's needed some extra help when it comes to school, and she needed a lot of therapy when she was younger.
Amazon says it has stopped allowing the sale of water beads marketed to children, including as toys.
But that may not solve the problem entirely. Take a look. We were able to find several for sale online marketed as something other than toys.
Consumer Report says this is part of a bigger problem, an influx of unregulated products, mostly from overseas.
Just because something is available on an online platform does not mean it's tested to be safe.
And just because a label says non-toxic, she says be skeptical because the term is under-regulated and under-enforced. A warning Ashley and Kipley want every family to hear. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
622 and 67 degrees. If the facial recognition technology used by TSA at airports makes you uncomfortable, you might have options. The changes taking place later this year and what you need to be aware of. Welcome back. Speeding through airport security without any hiccups, it's the goal for most travelers. And one of the Biden administration is working to safeguard, including for people who are wary of new technology. Vice President Kamala Harris announced new mandates aimed at preventing government abuse of artificial intelligence with a big emphasis on stopping discrimination. CNN's Ivan Rodriguez has more on the protections and what they mean for TSA screenings.
Under the new requirements taking effect at the end of the year, agencies using AI tools will have to verify that they don't endanger the rights and safety of Americans. They'll also have to publish a list of AI systems that are currently being used and the reasons for using them. Don't feel comfortable using the facial recognition technology at airports? No problem. That's the message from the Biden administration as it rolls out new safeguards to protect Americans from government abuse of artificial intelligence.
When it comes to anything regarding personal data, there is definite worry that that information is being used elsewhere.
Under the requirements, which take effect December 1st, travelers should be able to refuse facial recognition scans at airport security without worrying they'll be delayed or lose their place in line.
There is going to be a good portion of people that are breathing a sigh of relief, knowing that they don't have to opt in to anything regarding personal data when it comes to their travel experience.
Some travelers seem unconcerned and say AI is already the norm.
We're already using it for our phones consistently. I mean, just about everybody's doing it.
But there's evidence that using AI tools like facial recognition can lead to discrimination, something the Biden administration is also working to prevent in government agencies.
There have been numerous studies that demonstrate that facial recognition is less accurate with the faces of people of color.
The new mandates are designed to cover a range of scenarios, from TSA screenings at airports to decisions by other agencies, which affect Americans' healthcare, employment, and housing.
I think the real problem here for safety advocates who are concerned about the use of technology is that there are some areas where a lot of experts feel it's not appropriate to use artificial intelligence at all.
This announcement comes at a time when AI tools are already being used by the federal government. U.S. agencies use machine learning data to monitor things like global volcano activity and even track wildfires. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
628, 67 degrees. A local film festival allows high school students to showcase their work, and one of those projects will lead to a scholarship. Good morning. Happy Easter. It is 6:30 on this Easter Sunday, March 31st. Sarah, we're kind of in for a muggy, everyone's going to be outside today doing those barbecues, Easter egg hunts, and it's going to be a little sweaty.
It's going to be muggy for sure, but it's not going to be too hot outside as well. And we do have some areas of mist, but I want to remind folks, Sarah, we are 8 days away from the total solar eclipse. It's happening next Monday, not tomorrow, but next Monday around 1:30 p.m. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, Sarah, what about the forecast? What do we know? Well, 8 days away is a long way away to get a good grasp of the forecast. What there are some indications of is that the forecast favors at least some clouds. Remember with the annular eclipse in October of last year, we had some clouds too, but it is too soon for hour by hour details. 8 days away is simply too soon for that. But we will continue to keep you posted, and we want you to know that we are your eclipse authority as well as your weather authority. So we will keep you posted. Also, not everybody is going to be in the path of totality. Only half of San Antonio is in the path of totality. Make sure to scan this QR code. It'll take you to an interactive map that I made where you can zoom into your neighborhood, see if you're in the path of totality and how long totality will last. By the way, clear skies, of course, are ideal for an eclipse, but even some cloudy skies or some breaks in the clouds can give a decent eclipse viewing experience. So we will keep you posted. As for your Easter Sunday, happy Easter, everyone. We are going to be looking at some patchy mist out there this morning. Stubborn clouds like yesterday, but a few peaks of afternoon sun and a high in the low 80s. Breezy at times with south winds at 10 to 20 miles per hour. I don't know about you, but I'm definitely feeling the oak. Oak is currently very high. We are in the peak of oak season. We've yet to get the pollen count for the day, but as soon as we do, I will let you know. So if you can stand the mugginess, if you can stand the oak outside, it shouldn't be all that bad of an Easter outdoors. I'll have details on tomorrow night's storm chances coming up in just a bit. Sarah.
Sarah, thank you. New this morning, police are still waiting to check out a potential crime scene after someone stabbed a man in the neck and back overnight. Officers say it may have happened inside an apartment, but they need a warrant to get in there. The trouble started just after 2:30 this morning on the 100 block of Chantole Road. That's not far from Vance Jackson and I-10. So according to SAPD, the victim and a woman were at an apartment complex when she heard the man scream. That's when she saw him run down some stairs, bleeding from his neck and back. They started knocking on neighbors' doors for help since they didn't have a cell phone. The victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Police say the apartment the victim was visiting is locked and no one answered the door. Now police are waiting for a warrant so they can check out the potential crime scene. In your morning headlines, a multi-threat storm system is whipping across parts of the U.S. It's bringing high winds, heavy rain, snow, and possible landslides from California to Arizona. CNN's Laura Aguirre explains how cities along the West Coast are bracing for that severe weather.
We left earlier than usual because we thought this would happen, and sure shooting it did.
Even travelers who planned ahead are finding themselves in slow-moving snowbound traffic in Northern California. Winter alerts stretch across the Sierra Nevada, with up to 2.5 feet of snow possible in some spots. Closer to the coast, excessive rainfall and flooding could cause problems through Sunday, with some areas expected to get as much as 3 inches of rain, and higher elevations closer to 6. While that's good news for topping off county reservoirs, there could be a damaging trade-off.
With the rains are coming the potential for strong gusty winds as well as thunderstorms.
PG&E and ourselves have been pretty aggressive about getting the obvious dead trees out of the roadways and away from power lines.
Around Los Angeles, rock slides from previous storms this month still block some roadways in places like Topanga Canyon and the Hollywood Hills. Conditions that may only get worse with what comes in the hours ahead.
It's too dangerous to have our workers go in there still with falling boulders, and the ground is saturated.
You know, you just always have to be prepared. Yeah. The weather can be so extreme.
In the Lake Tahoe area, local forecasters predict up to 30 inches of fresh snow could blanket the region, with a winter storm warning in effect through Sunday, which many skiers and snowboarders may welcome.
Took a couple laps, get some powder in right now, got some good turns. It's a good day out there.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
AT&T customers, listen up. The self-service giant says a data set found on the internet contains information like social security numbers for more than 7.5 million account holders and 65 million former account holders. So AT&T says it already started resetting passcodes for current users and will be communicating with people whose sensitive personal information was linked. Company officials have not said how this breach happened. A Texas appeals court has upheld injunctions issued from a lower court that blocks a state from investigating parents who provide their children with gender-affirming medical care. So back in 2022, the Texas Attorney General released an opinion that concluded parents are committing child abuse when they help provide a transgender child with gender transitioning treatment. Texas Governor Greg Abbott then ordered the State Department of Family Protected Services to investigate any family violating that order. 2 families sued, and a lower court put a temporary hold on the state order. Now a trial must determine if the state order is legal. Supporters flooded the Bexar County Courthouse yesterday afternoon to show support for the March for the 2nd annual Transgender Day of Visibility rally. This year's theme was Unleash Your Inner Wings, inviting people from all walks of life to show up and affirm everyone's rightful place here in our city. Marchers rallied at the courthouse with signs and slogans before marching north to the Rainbow Crosswalk on North Main Street. Well, it's a one-of-a-kind program and film festival for local high school students that you may not even know exists. So TRL Productions sets students on a path to get creative while embracing film, editing, and music skills. SA Live's Jen Tobias Stresky shares.
TRL Productions is all about helping middle school and high school students who aspire to be in the multimedia field. By providing them with the skills and tools they need, they then pair them with local nonprofits where students are able to create videos for these organizations free of charge.
So TRL, our goal is to create pathways for students, creative students, and give them pathways and experience in multimedia and STEAM. So we have 2 programs with TRL. We have the Alamo Arts Academy. It's an in-school program where we provide curriculum for students for multimedia education. They get to learn audio, film, photography, and graphic design in school.
Skills that are helping to set the pathway for careers after high school. This month, students from schools around San Antonio will get to showcase their video projects for each nonprofit they were paired with at Bearfest.
So it's a great opportunity for the high school students. It gives them some real life experience. They get to work one-on-one with the nonprofits. They work directly with them. After we partner them, we step back and we let them handle everything. They get to decide what they're going to create for them. If it's just going to be a 3-minute video, if it's going to be a video and some graphic design ads, if it's going to be a video and some photography that they can use on their website. And some of them also get to do some composing, and they create their own original music that they can use in their video, and then the nonprofits can use that wherever they feel fit to promote themselves as well.
But it was really interesting. I really liked doing it. I loved going out and filming, editing. It brought us all closer together. It let us communicate, learn new things about pit bulls, and it really just brought us closer together to the nonprofit, learn more about it, educate ourselves. It felt really nice to do something good.
Once the work is submitted and the premiere is done, each of these nonprofits will get to keep the videos free of charge.
Yes, it's free for schools, it's free for the nonprofits. They just sign up for this 10-month program, and they're in it with the students, and we're here to hold their hands where they need to, but all the students we work with are so amazing, they really can handle their own.
Bearfest includes 2 nights of spotlight. One this week at Santico's Palladium, where students, their families, and nonprofits were able to enjoy a private screening of their work.
This is a really great event because our students get to come out, they get to see their work on the big screen. It's not something that they get to do every day, and it's getting them really excited for next week when we have the main event at the Tobin Center.
And Monday, April 1st, Bearfest is open to the public at the Tobin Center,
where they get to walk the red carpet. We have our step and repeat. We'll do some interviews in the lobby, and then we have an amazing award show where we get to celebrate all the hard work they did.
For Executive Director Perla Rivera, the reward is seeing how this 10-month journey ends for students.
To see all these students who have an interest but don't realize that it's more than just a hobby, that it's a career, is really exciting to open these doors to them. So they not only get to see, like, as a high schooler, you are capable to create these projects, to work with real clients, but it gives them that kind of one more push to say, like, okay, you can go and do this in the future. There's opportunities. So we're really excited about that, to open doors for them.
I'm hoping to go into film school and maybe become a director someday.
We're making an impact here with our work, with our film, and that's what our passion is, really.
If your school would like to participate, registration for Bear Fest is in August. Surrounding schools can join in with the sponsor, with teams ranging from 2 to 15 members. Nonprofits are also able to sign up at that point, allowing the community partnership to take hold through creativity all year long. For SA Live, I'm Jen Tobias-Strusky.
I really wish that I had this resource. Growing up, I had yearbook and newspaper. Hey, it taught me though. Bear Fest is coming up tomorrow from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Tobin Center. For the performing arts, there'll be screenings for all the high school film projects and award ceremony, which includes scholarship for one lucky student. You can watch the story again on SALive.com. Muggy morning out there, 67 degrees at 6:42. It's going to be hot over the next 2 days. Exactly how hot will it get? And we have a cool front coming in early this week. Sarah Spivey will explain all that when we come back.
Three, two, 1, ignition, and liftoff of Starlink 645. Go SpaceX, go Starlink.
It's always exciting. Check it out. SpaceX says a Falcon 9 rocket launched 23 Starlink satellites to low Earth orbit from Cape Canaveral yesterday. SpaceX said on its website that it was the 18th flight for the first stage booster supporting the mission. They said the rocket's first stage successfully landed on a drone ship. SpaceX is later expected to launch another 22 Starlink satellites from California.
Yeah, these Starlink satellites, a bit controversial for astronomers and stargazers.
That's what people think are like aliens in the sky, and they're like, what is this?
You see it as a line of dots in the sky that pretty much move together. And yeah,
there's parts on the northwest side where people will send us pictures where they can see them.
Right, and it was last week that people actually saw the launch that occurred. So that we've got an article about it on KSAT.com. It kind of did look very alien-ish. It was pretty neat to see. But go ahead and check that out if you want. Today, though, happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter.
It is going to be pretty muggy, and the clouds this morning are going to be pretty stubborn. You can see outside right now. I mean, doesn't it just look like it's humid out there? From those lower cloud ceilings, some areas of patchy mist, temperatures in the 60s, 67 degrees at the airport, 64 in Bernie, at 67 in Canyon Lake, 67 in Pleasanton, and 67 in Hondo. Some areas of patchy mist showing up in the form of reduced visibility. We're seeing visibility down to 5 miles in Castroville, down to 3 miles in Kerrville, down to 8 miles in New Braunfels. So yes, patchy mist is entirely possible this morning through even close to noon. We could see some areas of patchy mist. It's going to stay cloudy through noon, but in the afternoon, a few peaks of sunshine. Temperatures warming to 82 degrees. So if you have any plans for Easter egg hunts or just a lunch or a brunch outdoors, don't cancel those plans. Again, just some patchy mist in places, and it will be muggy. So not a great hair day this Easter Sunday. And it's going to be pretty hot out west. I mentioned that in San Antonio, those clouds are going to be stubborn. Not the case out west. A few clouds this morning, but quickly clearing and quickly becoming hot. Del Rio, Eagle Pass, you'll be near 95 today for the high temperature, but around San Antonio, low 80s are a safe bet. Mid to upper 80s for areas like Pleasanton, Floresville, Nixon, Smiley, Uvalde, and Sabinal. It's a little warmer in those areas, but around San Antonio, low 80s, 80 degrees in Bulverde, 80 in Bernie, 80 in Helotes, 83 in New Braunfels, Seguin at 82 and 81 in Kerrville and in Comfort. Our storm chances go up tomorrow night. Now, it's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody is going to see a storm, but there will be a few storms out there from 9 p.m. to about 2 o'clock in the morning. from tomorrow night into Tuesday morning. And here's the reason why. We've got this weather set up off to the west. We were talking about it just before the break, all of the flooding potential out near Los Angeles, and also some of the winter weather across parts of Nevada, Wyoming, and Utah, as well as fire danger in West Texas and New Mexico, all because of this big upper level low. Now at the surface, we've got a cold front starting to work its way into parts of the panhandle of Texas. Temperatures much colder behind this cold front. We'll see chilly mornings, but not necessarily sweater weather in the afternoon. Let me walk you through what this front is going to do. Firstly, tomorrow is going to be a hot day. That front will not yet reach us. We're going to be at 90 degrees in San Antonio and close to 100 closer to the border. But that front will be moving through Texas by dinner time tomorrow night. A broken line of storms from Dallas to the Texas Hill Country, and then from 9 p.m. to about 2 a.m. a broken line of storms moving through the San Antonio metro area and the Hill Country. Keyword there, broken. Okay, not everybody is going to see storms, but if you do, it is that time of year where a strong storm would be possible. Again, by Tuesday, 2 a.m. Tuesday, all that rain's going to be out of here, and it'll actually be pretty pleasant for the remainder of the week. Morning lows will be in the 40s, so you'll want those jackets. Afternoons will be in the 70s with low humidity. Humidity starts to return early next weekend, and that's what we're going to be watching for as we head into Eclipse Day. Not tomorrow, but the following Monday. Where does humidity stand? Where do those clouds stand? We're going to continue to keep you posted, not only on the storm chance tomorrow night, but as we look ahead to the eclipse next week.
We need that rain.
Yeah, you got plans for Easter?
Yeah, I'm going to be going home after the show to celebrate with my family and my husband's family.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
Are you?
We'll celebrate with family too. Going to go out to lunch with my aunt and uncle and some friends. So that'll be fun.
Very cool. Thank you, Sarah. It's 6:51 and 67 degrees. A lot of people are going to be traveling today, including myself. Don't see a lot on the roads right now, but if anything happens, of course, we'll keep you posted. Go Spurs, go! It's game day for the San Antonio Spurs. The team is on a 3-game winning streak. They're hoping to keep it going when they host Golden State. Tonight, tip-off is scheduled for 6 p.m. Okay, in just a few hours, the San Antonio Brahmas kick off their 2024 UFL season against the DC Defenders. The team met with fans ahead of the big game during the Fiesta de los Brahmas event at 1902 nightclub. Fans packed the house as the team shared their excitement. And the Brahmas are kicking off their season against the DC Defenders at 11 a.m. today in the Alamo Dome. We have a link to get tickets on KSAT.com, and don't forget, tailgating is back with this year's home games. It's 6:55 and 67 degrees.
And good morning to you, coming up here on GMA on this Easter Sunday. What the holiday means around the world this year. In Rome, Pope Francis sending a message to the world as he prays for peace in the Holy Land, scaled down observances in the wake of war. Plus, back in the States, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg joins us live with some key information on the first steps to recover the wreckage from the Francis Scott Key Bridge after it was struck by a container ship 6 days ago. And more March Madness and the Elite Eight action unfolding. The excitement overnight, the storylines, and we've got expert analysis from ESPN on what to expect. That is all coming up right here on GMA. We'll see you soon.